Good afternoon and welcome to the Indie Author Show. I'm Sue Miller and it's our regular fortnightly show. We've been on the radio a couple of times with International Women's Day. We had a special show and we also were helping to celebrate Callan FM's 10th anniversary on the 1st of March. So you've heard from us a little more often than you normally would, but I'm back to my regular fortnightly slot Wednesdays from 12 to 1. And today my guest is Deb. And Deb's, hi, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you very much.
Good, and you're here with Dottie?
I have my
Well, we'll tell you more about Dottie, but Deb's is a children's author, and she's also an illustrator, fantastic illustrator. So we're going to tell you a little bit more about Deb's. You're Deb's Jones, but you write as Deb's Green Jones.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll talk to you a little bit more about your journey to starting your first book, and also find out a little bit more about your illustrating. It's something you love to do, isn't it?
Certainly do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's hard to believe that it's March already, isn't it?
Certainly is. It's flown this year. Absolutely.
We've had terrible weather this year too, haven't we? So we need like a nice spring. Hopefully the gods are
with us.
Yes, are smiling down on us and give us a nice spring.
And a lovely summer.
I was noticing
nice.
where I used to live. I just moved a year ago, and the place where I used to live, we had, not that we planted them, but the people before us planted about, and I'm not exaggerating, at least 1,000 daffodils. And they're just coming up now.
They're magic, aren't they?
Yeah.
I love to see them on the hedgerows. They have a lot. The council have put them, especially as you're going up to Coedpoeth, you know.
Yes, that's true.
And they make such a splash of colour.
But they're about a month late. Or at least 3 weeks late, because as I said, I lived there for 12 years, and they were always up by the end of February.
Yes.
So, that's just an indication of our weather.
Yeah, how cold it's been and miserable.
So, we're just going to chat a little bit about your book and What a Week it's called. And Dottie, the dinosaur, is the main character. So, Debs, can you just tell me a little bit about where the book came from, the idea for the book?
Yeah, certainly. It was a long time ago now. I used to run a playgroup in Garden Village, which is just down the road from here. And in those days, you didn't have the plethora of books that you have nowadays. You know, now you can find a subject, really, a book on any subject for children. And we always used to like to do a theme, cowboys and Indians and various things. And one week we were doing dinosaurs. And I was looking for, we always had a set, a craft table and a dough table that we used to make, say we'd make dinosaurs, things like that. And we always ended up with a song and a story. And I was looking for a story that would keep 3-year-olds, 30 of them, amused, to sit down and listen to the story. Anyway, I couldn't find one anyway, so I thought. And some of the books I'd read, I thought, I could do better than that. I couldn't believe that they'd been published, really. Yeah. So I thought, I'm going to do one. So I did. I went home and I got the story in my head, all about finding a friend. She's looking for someone to play with. And it was about the days of the week. Each day she'll ask someone different. And anyway, the children loved it, took it home, and it sort of got put under the bed, that type of thing. And people now and again would say to me, when are you going to get that book published? And I thought, I knew it was a minefield, and I thought, I haven't got the time or the energy, really. And then last year, as you mentioned, I've got twin grandsons now, and they were only 3, and my son and I were looking for something to do with them. So I typed into the Google search box, things to do in Wrexham, and the first thing that popped up was the Carnival of Words and the workshop.
Oh, wow.
Right? And I thought, I told my daughter, and she said, oh, Mum, come on, it's a sign. If you're going to do it now, you can't leave it any later. Now's the time to do it. So I went down to the workshop, and I took the book with me. And I wasn't brave enough to talk to, I didn't really know anybody, but there was a lady there, and she'd done just illustrated books. So I took courage in both hands, and I just said to her, what your honest opinion, what do you think? And she said, oh, I think they're lovely. She said, oh, your book's almost ready, because I've written it, obviously. She said, you need to see Sue Miller. So I'm looking around, never heard of Sue Miller. And there you were in front of me, and I gave you the book. And I said, well, and you looked at me and you said, oh, well, it's nearly ready to go. So we arranged a meeting,
Yes.
didn't we, in the library? And then you said, right, I'm going to take this to Ellen Parser. And that was it, really. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's funny how these things work, and it's almost like a sign, as you say. You type something in, and then it was your time, really.
Yeah,
and it just
was.
came up. But yeah, it's a lovely story, and I'm glad that you told it that way, because I'm sure there's listeners who are thinking,
Definitely.
"Oh, wow, I'm in the same position."
Yeah.
But you were a bit different in that you had illustrated the book as well.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And so, well,
Yeah, it's
gosh.
not that quick for the people.
No,
I should
well, it's
think.
not as quick, but
not
also
too long.
they've got the thing. Well, they've got the dilemma in that they've written the book, but then they think, okay, well, who's going to illustrate it? So first you've got who's going to illustrate it, and then how do I get it published? So that's we offer that support on both
You do, yes.
angles. But as I said, everyone was saying to you, well, it's nearly ready. So you had painted.
Yes, yeah.
It was with
With watercolour.
Watercolor,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So you had the originals. So then all we needed to do was scan them, and then at a very high resolution, and then we just needed to kind of play around with it
With the colours.
with the colours and
background.
yeah,
and
the background. And
Ellen
the-
did the font
yeah, the text
for me, the text
Yeah.
and everything. So
Yeah, so we asked Ellen, and she did a great job just
she
pulling
did. It was
pulling
brilliant,
everything
pulling
together.
it together and putting it,
Yeah.
down. And I mean, I had lots of sort of contact with her, and sort of saying, you know, did I like that colour background? And she wasn't a bit put out. I said, oh, well, I prefer something.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was absolutely fine. It was lovely. It was a
good.
pleasure to work with you both.
Oh, good, thank you. So yeah, it's just a little bit of encouragement, I suppose, for people out there that are listening. They're thinking, well, I've got a book, so maybe I could do this too. So-
Absolutely. Because I honestly thought when you said to me, oh, it's almost ready to go. And then when you told me the process, I thought, I can't believe this. This is happening too
Yeah.
quickly. You know, it seems strange.
Well, things
But-
have changed, though.
Yes, I
you know,
suppose, yeah.
like even in the last 5 years, things have changed, and just as technology gets better, you know, then things just get easier to. Say 10 years ago, this wouldn't have been so simple for you.
No, indeed.
So how long do you think you had that book?
Oh,
Under
well,
the bed
well
for-
over 10 years.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It was one of those things that I just thought. But I wanted to get it done in a book form. I thought if it was just for my children, my grandchildren,
Yeah.
you know. And this isn't, as I said, this isn't the only one. I've done quite a few, but I'm in the middle of sort of illustrating
Yeah. Yeah.
the next one.
So that's very unique. I don't come across very many. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that I've helped to publish that's illustrated and written a book. We've got a couple. You know, Ellen is one of them.
Right.
Now, Ellen, if you're listening to this, pull your finger out, girl.
Oh, she's still not written it. She did
Well,
mention it to me.
Well, she's writing it, so we just need to encourage her. Yeah,
push.
give her a little push, because she's one that obviously can illustrate and write.
Yeah.
And then we also have Alan Jones. Alan's
Oh, absolutely.
yeah,
yes,
and Alan's a
yeah,
brilliant
he
illustrator,
is.
and he's written a couple of children's books
Yeah.
as well. So we just, you know, life gets in the way sometimes, and you just
Certainly
think.
does.
But those two, they definitely know that this can happen and how easy it is. So maybe we'll have to make 2018 our mission and get those two
Absolutely.
published.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, I'm going to just talk to you a little bit more about the characters in the book, and as you say, it's called What a Week. So it teaches the children not only about making friends, but it also teaches them the days of the week. So it's kind of got a two-pronged approach. In the studio with me today is Debs Green Jones, who's an author and illustrator, and her book we're talking about is What a Week. Now, when did we publish this, Deb? Help me remember. It was last year. It was
last year.
2017.
It was, yes, definitely. And it was about the beginning of June.
Was it?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Okay. So
It should be
yeah.
seared in my memory, I
Yeah,
know.
it goes.
but
Well, we
a
can look
lot's,
on the.
a lot's happened in 12 months.
Now, as I said, you are a watercolor artist. Yeah. Is that the only medium you use, or do you use other?
No, basically it's watercolor,
Watercolour,
because
yeah.
that's what I love the most, because it's so immediate,
Mm-hmm.
and it's sort of usually you get one shot at it, you know.
Yeah,
when
that's true. You can't kind
you
of like
can't
rub it out.
rub it out, and you can't add to it. But yeah, and I prefer to, because my paintings are very simple, or most
Mm-hmm.
of them, apart from the Alice illustrations, that they are very sort of soft and misty, and so it's like a one hit. You know, I'll do it
Yes.
in an hour or however long it takes me, and then that's it. Usually,
So-
don't go back to it.
Do you do this for relaxation, or
I do
yeah.
it. It's not so much relaxation, because, funnily enough, you can get so frustrated by not being able to
Yeah.
to get on paper what you can see in your mind's eye, sort of
Right,
thing.
right.
But so sometimes it's sort of, it's pulling your hair out time. But once you actually do one that you like,
Mm-hmm.
and another thing is no matter how many other people would say to you, oh, that's really good, I like that. If you don't feel that's it, I love it, or I've done it.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what anyone else says.
Yeah.
So it's.
I suppose there's. I know you share some of them on Facebook, but I bet there's loads that you don't share on
Oh,
Facebook.
absolutely.
because
Loads
don't-
go in the bin.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now you are a Bronte.
Absolutely.
Lover,
I am
aren't you?
a big Bronte fan. I am,
Yeah.
yes. We used to go up to Haworth, my husband and I. We'd go every year, and we'd once we stayed in the Black Bull,
Yeah.
which is the famous
Yes.
pub, which is still there. And we stayed in the old registry many times. That's right at the bottom of the main street, the hill.
Okay.
And it's just a fabulous
Because you paint a lot.
place.
of
I
the-
think, yes,
yeah.
to do with the Brontes sort
yeah.
of thing.
And
That's,
those are beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you have a Facebook page? You do, don't you?
I do, but I haven't put anything on it.
You
at
need
the
to start
moment.
putting
I
some of
need
your
to.
illustrations on there, actually, because I think we always encourage our authors to have a Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just putting it on your profile, people who aren't friends with you aren't going to see this. So we need to. That'll be our mission, okay?
Right, okay.
That'll be our next
next
mission. Is let's get some of this illustration work that you do on
Okay.
your Facebook page,
Right.
okay? And that's actually good for you, because people, when they're not used to having a page on Facebook, you're there as an author, Debs Green Jones, they don't know what to put. So
Right.
here you've got something that you can put. You can put
Yeah.
your illustrations, and we'll talk a little bit about Dottie and her travels. But I just wanted to mention to you, I need to find this out for you. You might be able to find it out. But I was just at the Tamworth Lit Fest last week,
Right.
and I was kind of the MC of a panel of romantic novelists, and one of them is Erin Green, and she. So I bought one of her books, and she signed it for me, and I said, "Wow, that's a beautiful pen," and. The pen that she was using to sign, it was a fountain pen, but it was all wood, and it was very thick, and you could just tell it was beautiful. And so she said, "Oh, do you want to know where I got this pen?" And it's from, forgive me if I don't get the story completely right, but it's from the Brontes. They opened a school, I believe, in Haworth,
No, they wanted to
or
open
but they
school.
only had a few. They only had a few kids, so they'd started, to get the supplies and so on, and I think they only
Right.
had 2 or 3
No, they didn't
people.
have any.
They didn't have any.
None at all. They had no takers. They what had happened was because they were so worried about their father, the clergyman, being
Right.
ill. They decided that they needed to do something, and they didn't want to go out governessing, which they'd both done and hated.
Mm-hmm.
So the plan was to have a school. So that's why Emily and Charlotte went over to Belgium, to Brussels, to learn French and to complete their education, and came back, had the pamphlets and everything printed, but they didn't actually. Now, whether they had supplies in, I don't
Well,
know.
we
They
need to
didn't have
find out
any
more
takers.
about this story, because I haven't looked it up. But what Erin told me, that the wood has come from the desks or the chairs that they had got for this school.
Gosh.
So, and there's only so many pens, so we need to find this out for you.
Yeah,
So the pens were
absolutely.
made from the wood,
that
either the chair or the desk. I can't remember. I think it was the desk, or a couple of desks. And so they made, I don't know, maybe 300 pens from the wood of these desks.
Oh, I know.
And
I've never heard of that one.
This is her pen.
Oh, that's lovely.
So she said you can still get some.
Wow.
So we need to look that up
Yeah.
for you, because I think that's something you would love.
I
That would
certainly
make a good
would.
birthday present for you, wouldn't it? We'll make sure that your son and your daughter are listening to this
Yes.
one, and I'll just I'll find the link, put it on your Facebook,
Okay.
and then they can find it and surprise you.
Thank you very much.
Now, tell me about your grandsons. What's their names?
Well, I've got 4 grandchildren.
Okay, so
Uh,
4
so-
grandchildren, but twin
But
boys.
twin boys.
Okay.
The eldest, Sam, is 21. A granddaughter, Ellie, 17. And the boys, Noah and Isaac, they were 4 in January. So it's been like starting
So-
all over again,
again, yeah.
basically, really. You know,
Yeah.
it's a big gap between
gap,
them.
yeah.
But then there's a gap between my daughter and my son, about 5.5 years.
Yeah.
So it's just, and people are having children later in life.
Yes, they
nowadays,
are,
aren't
definitely,
you know?
yeah.
But yes, and they do. They love Dottie, her play.
So you made Dottie into a felt character, because again, this probably goes back to your days as
Absolutely.
having a nursery, right?
A nursery play group, yes.
Playgroup, yeah.
Making stuff, and especially children do love mascots, don't they? And
Yeah.
they love to. And
And you've made finger puppets as
I've
well.
made finger puppets.
Of all the characters that are in the book,
We've
or
got
most
up
of them?
to 5 at the moment.
5, yeah.
Yeah. And I had done stick puppets as well.
Right.
Which my grandson Noah absolutely adores. And to be honest, when I think about the CE certificate, having
Yes.
to get one, I think I could have had one just with the use that Noah's got out of it, really.
Right, right.
Because he has, really played with it. But yeah, that's it. But they do. They love it. They love being able to turn the pages, and because it doesn't rhyme all the way through, but it repeats. So you
Yes.
get a repeating. Can I play with you?
Yes.
And then it's at the end of the page, it's find something else to do.
Right.
So when it comes to that, they both shouting out to me, even
Yeah.
if they can't read.
Yeah, exactly. And that's there's two parts to this book. As we said, there's the days of the week, and then there's also Dottie looking for somebody to play with. She doesn't have any friends.
No,
and so she just keeps moving around the jungle and looking and
looking
asking,
for somebody.
looking for somebody to play with, and then finally at the end, she gets friends. So it's beautifully illustrated with all the different animals. So tell me who the puppets are that you have now. What puppets have you created?
Oh, I've got.
Fred.
I just brought the finger puppets with me.
Yeah. So
I've got
which
Dottie,
characters? So you've got Dottie.
Dottie.
Yeah.
Sue. There she is.
Yeah.
The toucans.
The toucan. Yeah.
The dinosaur. The fish. My favourite.
Oh.
Dottie. The crocodile.
The crocodile. Yeah.
and Dottie as
And
well.
Dottie is the finger
Yeah.
puppet. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a photo of these with you, and I'll post it on our Facebook page, which is the Indie Author Show. And then Deb's is it at Deb's Green Jones? Do you remember what your Facebook page is? I'll look that up, actually.
Deborah Jones.
Deborah Jones, it is. Yeah, okay.
I don't know whether I should get another Facebook page just as Deb's Green Jones.
Well, no, I don't think
No?
we should have more than one, because it just gets a bit confusing.
Yeah,
but we might be
exactly.
able to change the name of it. That might be the way forward.
Okay.
So we'll look at that. But so yeah, I can see by looking at the puppets that the children love that. They do, the little ones. And
Yeah.
you know this because you spent all those years trying to entertain those kids. So
Exactly. So
yeah.
yeah, they do.
Now Dottie has a life of her own. She has a better life
She
than
has
you and
better
I.
life than- yeah, she does. She gets about.
Yeah,
She gets
so
about a lot.
you have a friend, Janet.
I do.
and she
My
has
lovely friend Janet.
yeah, and she has family that's in Australia, so she goes to Australia every year.
Yeah.
And last Was it?
Over Christmas.
It was over Christmas. She went to Perth
Yeah.
to visit her family, and she took Dottie with her.
She certainly did, bless her. And her grandson, Iestyn Davenport, bless him, he took good care of it, and he took lots of really, really nice photographs, because I think he's got a gift. Sorry, Janet, they are better than yours.
Maybe Janet can take lessons from him.
Yes, Janet, you'll have to take some lessons from him. But yes, we had, there were pictures of her on the beach, and she went to a chocolate factory where they had chocolate crocodiles, and she went to, there was a prison somewhere, so she was behind bars for a while. They did lots with her. They were really, really kind, and they sent me back, and I posted them on Facebook, and she's got quite a following, you know.
Yeah.
People just seem to take to her.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is,
she
but
is
they're just
cute,
cute. Yes.
And she's simple as well. So there's not like, you know, sometimes the best characters are just simple.
Just,
you
well,
know?
look at Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, exactly.
a tatty old bear.
She's going now, Janet is going to...
Oh, she's off on her travels
To
again.
Nepal, is it?
Nepal,
Yeah.
would you believe? Yes.
You have to make sure you send a couple of books, signed books with her, because she might come across people
Oh, yeah,
as
that's
well
a good idea,
that
yes.
would love the book, because I suppose it's because it's simple reading as well. It might help children who are learning to speak English.
Exactly, yes.
so-
It is.
Yeah, so I think you should send a couple books.
Yeah, I will. Oh, it's a
But
good
Dottie,
idea.
Dottie's going in her carry-on. Hopefully she's going on her carry-on bags, and you got her a passport.
I did.
Yeah, we this came up because one of our friends, Jude Lennon, who's a children's author, she went to South America, and she has Lammy and Flossie. So we got, just because she was taking Lammy and Flossie with her on her trip, we made up a mascot passport. So
Which
so
is
when
very
you had
cute.
seen it, they're
when
so
I saw
cute.
it, well, when Dottie saw it, she wanted one.
Yeah.
She doesn't like to be left out.
No, and why would you?
Why?
So Team Author made up a little template, so anybody now with a mascot can get their own little passport, and so it's perfect.
It is perfect. It's really cute.
So, and thank you to John Evans for making that. So we'll take a picture of that as well and share that on the Facebook page of at Team Author UK, and also at the Indie Author Show. So what things coming up? I'm just thinking when I come back from this track, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the Wrexham Carnival of Words, which is where you first met us.
Yes.
So it's kind of it's almost a year.
It is, yeah.
It's when you first met us. And gosh, you're right. We did do that book very quickly, because that would have been April, and then you had your book out in June. So it did all
Yeah.
happen
Well,
quite
it
quickly.
was.
Yeah. So you are actually one of the children's authors who we're doing. I'm on the committee for. So when I say we, I'm on the committee for the Wrexham Carnival of Words, which is the 21st to the 28th of April, at various venues around Wrexham. So when I come back, I'll talk a little bit about what our lineup is. But we are doing children's story time at the Wrexham Library, and that is on the first Saturday morning, the 21st of April, from 10 till 12. And
Yep.
you're one of the
Yes,
authors
yeah.
that are
Looking
coming.
forward to
So
it.
we've got you. We've got Jude Lennon with Lammy and Flossie, who I was just talking about, and we have Claire Capper, who has Arnie the Armadillo. And then we have Jackie Bloor, who's a Wrexham storyteller, and
Yes. Is it Piccolo?
she's Piccolo's
Piccolo's
music.
music,
Yes,
yeah.
but goodness knows what she's going to come. She's like an amazing storyteller and has loads of different costumes,
Is
and
she?
yeah, she's
Oh,
she's very,
dear.
very good. So we're going to so it's going to be a really fun morning. So that's Saturday the 21st of April, and it's free, so you don't need to buy any tickets. Just come on down with your family to the library in Wrexham, and we will have your books, though. All of the authors,
Okay.
they will have their books there, so they will be for sale, and you can meet Dottie and all her little finger puppets. So, and because I'm thinking this is just before Janet goes, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Yes, Janet leaves
yeah.
in a little bit later that
Late.
week. Because I was worrying. I was thinking, oh no, you won't have
Don't
Dottie.
have Dottie. No,
but
Dottie will have gone.
but Dottie's
yes.
still here
So
for
come
that.
and, chance to meet her before she goes off on her travels
Yes, yes, and maybe send her best wishes. Okay, well, we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about the Wrexham Carnival of Words and all the different events that you can get involved in. Well, this is the Indie Author Show, which is on Callan FM every fortnight, Wednesdays from 12 to 1, and you can listen again. So if you've missed it, I always like to share the link out from usually the Thursday the next day. It's available through Listen Again on callanfm.com. And I will share the link on the Indie Author Show Facebook page, because a lot of people can't always listen to it live, can they? Because things are going on and you're working and so on. So
babysitting.
And babysitting, yes. So I'll make sure that you
Okay.
get those links as
That'd be
well.
lovely.
But the Indie Author Show, basically, our guests are all usually new authors or authors that have, they're all independent authors, self-published authors. That somebody said to me they didn't know what indie meant, but it's just a short form for independent author, which means you don't have an agent or a trade publishing company. You just
that's
publish
right,
yourself.
yeah.
So that's kind of the term indie author.
I think it's getting to be quite a cool term now too.
Yes,
sort of,
indie,
I'm
yeah.
an indie author.
Yeah. So a few things I just wanted to bring up. Then we'll just we've chatted lots with Dottie, but we'll come back to you, Dottie, in a minute. But I need to talk to you about the Wrexham Carnival of Words, which I said before I'm on the committee for. This is our 4th year. There was a few authors and poets and so on in Wrexham 4 years ago, or maybe 5, I guess it was probably 5 years ago when we first got together. And we went to the council and the library, and so together we all joined forces in Glyndŵr University as well, and Waterstones in Wrexham. Jed Armstrong is the manager there and is a huge supporter of the community. So just a shout out to all of them, and in the Wrexham libraries particularly. So we've pulled together, and this is, as I said, our 4th year. So if you go to wrexhamcarnivalofwords.com, you can see our past programs, but more importantly, you can see the 2018 program. So we've got a kind of a eclectic mix. I think that's a good word to describe the Wrexham Carnival of Words, because we're not really don't think of us as a literary festival of the likes that you would get at the Hay Festival or something. We're very, we try to bring interesting authors and poets and storytellers that to the people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Have I read it right that Nikki French is actually?
Yes.
Oh wow!
Yes.
I'm a big fan of Nikki French. I
Yes.
think they are, isn't it?
Yes,
it's not.
it's they. I
it's
know.
A
I was
they.
going to say that. Well, we do have. I'll just quickly run through the one side of the program, then I'll have to turn over the program. But we've got Wrexham on My Mind is starting. So it starts on the 21st of April. And Wrexham on My Mind is a theme. And basically, we have Peter Reid, who is fantastic, and he's just a jack of all trades. He's a poet, he's a script writer, he's just a huge personality. I love him to bits, and he goes around and is getting some elderly folks, some schools, some all different types of people within the community of Wrexham.
Oh, sounds good.
Yeah, to come up with their recollections and their memories of Wrexham.
Oh,
So then
right.
he's going to pull all that together. So that's called Wrexham on My Mind. So that is 11 o'clock on the Saturday, the 21st of April. And again, if you're listening to this and you don't have a pen or whatever, just go to wrexhamcarnivalofwords.com and you can see all the locations and the timings and the dates and ticket prices and everything on the website. Then we have Phil Rickman. Now, Phil Rickman, a lot of people might have heard of him. He has a show on BBC Radio called Radio Wales called Fill the Shelf. So Paul Jarrett is in conversation with Phil Rickman. And then 7 o'clock, so this is one you need to put in your diary, Deb, is Nikki French. So Nikki French is actually a husband and wife team.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know that, but they are number one bestsellers in crime writers. And I'm going to be interested to hear, I don't know how that would work, how you would write
No
a
idea.
story with two people,
No idea.
But obviously it works for them because they are bestsellers. So that's Nikki French. So that's a big Saturday. We've got, as I said before, we've got the children's event in the library.
Yeah.
And we've got Wrexham on my mind. We've got 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Phil Rickman, and then 7 o'clock, we've got Nikki French. So that's a huge day. Then on Sunday, the 22nd of April, we've got what's called Red Planet Dreams, and that's science fiction author Alistair Reynolds. So he's going to chat about his science fiction and the research that he's done, and that's at St. Giles's Church actually, in Wrexham, and that's at 7 o'clock. So that's interesting for all the sci-fi fans out there. Then this is a new one that we've done. On Monday, the 23rd of April at 4:30, we're going to be at Bellis Brothers out in
Oh,
Holt.
right. Yeah, I know that well.
Yeah, so it's obviously a gardening theme. So it's green fingers and great reads. So we've got a panel of local gardeners, and they're going to be talking about their gardening books and, kind of getting ready for spring in your
sounds
garden. So
good.
that's going to be a really good one as well. So that's Monday, the 23rd at 4:30. But the 23rd of April is actually two celebrating, I'm trying to say the word properly, celebratory nights, because it's World Book Night. So it's kind of it's been traditionally, we've always had World Book Day. But
Right,
World
yeah,
Book
I've never
Night,
heard of World Book Night.
World Book Day is more for children, I think, and World Book Night is basically the whole premise behind that was for you to share books with people that didn't have the opportunity, maybe that don't read much or aren't in school. It's more for adults.
Right.
So it's about celebrating. So the whole theme is to share your book. Share a book with somebody.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Is it anything to do with Shakespeare's birthday?
And that was the second one. So
sorry.
it's Shakespeare's birthday as well. So that was part two. So we're at 7 o'clock that evening in the library. We have it's a troupe that's going around the UK, and they're called Company of Voices, and they're doing a little play kind of, I'm not quite sure, I've not actually seen one before, but it's called Shakespeare Hot Under the Collar. So they present four excerpts from four of Shakespeare's
Plays.
well-known plays. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. But then,
too.
of course, we're celebrating World Book Night, so we're going to have a book giveaway that night at the library. Then on Tuesday the 24th, we've got Vasim Khan, and that's at the Wrexham Library as well. Now, Vaz Khan is a children's author,
Okay.
kind of, young adult, I guess.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say children. And he has a very popular series called the Baby Ganesh Detective Agency. So a lot of, he's actually going into school, I'm not sure which school, but he's going into one of the Wrexham schools that day as well. And then in the evening, he's coming to the library. So if you've got any teens that like to
that'd be
read,
ideal, wouldn't it?
you can come and meet Vaz, and he'll chat to you about how his stories have come about. Aled Lewis Evans is another wonderful character that we have in Wrexham, and he's Tuesday the 24th, and it's the same pretty much. So, Vaz is on at 6:30, and Aled's on at 7:30, and he's at the Catherine Finch Centre, which is at the back of Glyndŵr University. So Aled is a Welsh poet and writer. So he's sharing some of his stories
that's lovely.
and poetry. So it's very, very popular for the Welsh audience, but he does it in English and Welsh. So that's another usually sellout event, actually. Then this is another sellout event, which is on Wednesday, the 25th of April at 7 o'clock at the library. It's the Murder Mystery Night. So we have some not volunteers, they are volunteers, but they're amateur
Sleuths.
No, well, yes, there's amateur sleuths as well, but we have a drama team that we pulled together from people in Wrexham, and so they present the play in costume, and then us amateur sleuths to have to try to figure out who done it. Yeah, so this particular one is called The Wenlock Mummy, and it's by Ellie Griffiths. And if anybody is really into crime writing, she writes the Dr. Ruth Galloway stories. So I've read Ellie Griffiths. So this is kind of an adaptation that she's done for Murder Mystery Night. So those tickets do sell out. Very, very popular. They're only £5, and you can buy your tickets at the library as well. So make sure you don't leave that one to the last minute. And then finally on this side of my program, and I'll just kind of take a break here because you're probably all thinking, okay, there's too much information. But this one is Emma Carroll, and again, she is a young adults author. So we do try to bring in some authors, and they go to the Wrexham schools as well. So we get them involved. Yeah. So she's she's at the Wrexham Library at 1:00 on Thursday, the 26th of April. So again, if people want to meet, if you're a writer and you're writing in those kinds of genres, it's really good. It's good
to be able to meet someone else on your wavelength.
Yeah. So Emma, she writes, one of her stories is a Second World War novel called Letters from the Lighthouse. So she's going to talk about the research that she did to write that book. Let me just say, because I know almost everything I've been saying to you, Debs, you think, oh, I like that. Oh, I like that.
know.
So there is a festival ticket for £30, which is a fantastic value.
Yeah, that is good value.
So you can go to any of the shows except for the Murder Mystery. I have to just say that one you have to buy a separate ticket for. Again, because of the popularity for it. We may have to end up having it in a bigger venue in the future, because we can only hold so many people in the library. But the festival ticket is £30, and if you buy one of those, you can go to any of these events.
Yeah, I think that's really good value.
Now, a lot of it, I should just say, our events are either free, £5 or £8. Mm-hmm. So they're priced, to encourage people to come. And as I said, it's very, very
laid back.
Just come, and if there's
just
a particular author that you want that you meet, you can chat. There's a chance to chat to them afterwards. You can buy their books. Waterstones will be at all the events with these books. In fact, the books are now in Waterstones now. They're on display in Waterstones now, but Waterstones will be at every event with the books from those authors. So you can get a signed copy, or if you already have one in your own bookshelf, just bring it along and they'll sign it. So
it sounds fantastic to be fair.
So that's just up until Thursday. I wanted to say to you that because Wrexham and you've been learning Welsh, but Wrexham's got a big Welsh community, as I was just talking about Alan Lewis Evans. But you're getting this translated into Welsh, aren't you?
Hopefully, yes. My lovely tutor, Jenny Harris, has... I've done it as best I could, and hopefully she's
going to proofread and edit it.
She is going to edit it. It'll most probably come back, one word on one page is right, or in the right place. No, it's not that
at least you gave it a go.
I gave it a go.
I couldn't even do that much. And so, Alan Parser, you're going to be doing you're going to have to create the Welsh version so that we can get that published. And then you also want to get it done in Polish, don't you?
Because it was an idea, because there's quite a large...
there's a huge Polish
community here, and funnily enough, one of the ladies that looks after the twin grandsons in the afternoon club is Polish.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I think you need to make that a priority this year, and then Ellen will be able to do... the Welsh version, and then she just has to change it, because the book itself won't change. It's just the text. So, I think we should probably do those at the same time, really. It makes sense. And then you've got something else to promote, because you need to get your other book ready, which you said you're illustrating?
Yes, yeah.
And do you have a title for it?
Working title is Ellie the Eskimo.
Okay.
Right, but it's all about Ellie and the Eskimo and Father Christmas.
Oh, good. Okay, so that'll have to come out.
That will have to come out.
Sort of October-ish.
October, I'd have
So
thought.
we're ready
yeah.
for Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Oh,
Nearly
that's-
finished it,
yeah.
but I'm picky.
Yeah. Yeah. As you said, if the illustration isn't quite right, it goes in the bin.
Yeah, it does.
I'm sure they're wonderful, Deb. So,
Thank
we'll
you.
make sure again for our listeners that we get some of your illustrations up on your Facebook page. Okay, back to the Wrexham Carnival of Words, which is wrexhamcarnivalofwords.com. Just the back end of the week, we've got the Wrexham Workers Poem, which is going to be shared at Cycern on Thursday, the 26th of April. And again, that's Peter Reid, who pulls together little snippets from people that can contribute, and then he pulls it together and makes one poem. This one's interesting for the football lovers in our crowd of listeners here, because Wrexham Football Club is going to be involved in giving some input into this poem. So that is going to be read by Peter Reid on Thursday, 26th of April. And then we have Viva Voice with Les Barker, which is kind of an open mic night at Cycern. Then we have Mark Davis, who has written a book about the insights into the life of an adventurer, James Sadler, who was the first Englishman to fly, basically, in a hot air balloon. So that's on Friday, the 27th of April at 2 o'clock at the Wrexham Library. And then here's another huge event that's been very popular. It's Historical Fiction Night. So 7 o'clock at Glyndŵr University, just in the front doors of Glyndŵr University, we've got several historical fiction authors coming.
Brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
Right up my street.
Yeah, so have a look on the website again, and you can see all who's coming. We start out with this thing that's very popular called My Era is Better Than Your Era.
Oh, yeah,
So-
I've heard that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
so they
very
do. So it's a
good.
little panel, and they all kind of talk about whether it's the Romans or the Tudors or whatever is their
Yeah.
particular era that they write
Whatever
about.
their bag is.
Yeah. So they do about a 10-minute kind of presentation on why you should love that era, and then we all
Vote for them.
yeah. So it's quite competitive and it's fun, and then we go into a more serious discussion about from one of the authors. So that is Friday the 27th of April, again very popular. Then closing us out on the Saturday, we have C.L. Taylor, which is Callie Taylor. And she's a Sunday Times best-selling psychological thriller. And I've read 3 of her books.
have
She's
you?
got 5 out, so that's going to be a great afternoon to close out, and that's 2 o'clock on Saturday at the library. So again, please go to wrexhamcarnivalofwords.com, look up the program, see what you'd like to go to. You can buy tickets online, which all the information is on the website, or you can just pop down to the library and pick up a program. There are programs all around.
I'd like to go to all of them,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah,
You're
there is-
spoiled for choice, aren't you,
Yeah,
really?
so that's why I was saying the festival ticket for £30
It's
is
really good
very
value.
good value. You can go to any of the events except for the murder mystery. You have to buy a separate ticket for that one, but other than that, the festival ticket at £30 allows you to go to any or all of them. Okay, so that's the Wrexham Carnival of Words. I'll probably give a shout out about this on my next show a bit more, because I'll have a bit more details, but we're also having Team Author is set up something called Indie Author Week, and it's from the 9th to the 12th of June. So we've got lots of events happening in Cheshire, Liverpool, and Wrexham area. So we'll talk more about that. And again, it's about bringing independent authors together and
which
showcasing
is
their
lovely.
work.
Yeah.
So that's the 9th to the 12th of June, but I'll talk to you more about that. Now, I need to say a big shout out to, I'm just looking at my time, a big shout out to Lorna McCann.
Absolutely,
Because
yeah.
Lorna McCann is a children's author with Wendy and the Biscuit Tree and Felix, the Small Boy with a Big Imagination. And she just won the award for Best Product in the Businesses for Children's Award. night for Shropshire. So it was the businesses for children, and it was the product. That's the category that she won. So big shout out to Lorna McCann, who also does a lot of the PR for
She
our
does,
authors.
yes. Congratulations, Lorna.
Yeah,
It was
so-
very well deserved.
Yes,
fair
very
play.
well deserved. Lorna, if you want to look up her books on Amazon, and just look for Lorna McCann, author. She also has a Facebook page. So well done, Lorna. And Debs, thank you very much to you.
You're very welcome.
Yes,
I really enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
And can I forget, just a quick shout out, Dottie's also on Amazon, and she was an Amazon bestseller. How could I
Yes.
forget that?
How could we
How
forget?
could we forget that?
Yes, she was.
She was,
Yes,
bless her.
all our books are on Amazon. So again, you can find What a Week by Debs Green Jones on Amazon. And Dottie, have a wonderful time on your trips. Don't forget your passport. Don't lose your passport. And be good. And we'll look for the pictures of her as well.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
Hope there'll be plenty.
Yes.
Thanks.
Okay. Take care, and we'll see you all next time on the Indie Author Show.